the garden, because y'all, there's some things been happening this week. So if you are a new subscriber, go ahead, or if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe by hitting the thumbs up first, because y'all know y'all gonna forget. So go ahead and hit the thumbs up now, and then also subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Hit the notification button. Make sure you click all so that you'll know when more videos like this one come out. So I am going to kind of do an overall view of the garden today. I dismantled some of the other pieces around the house, so I'm just going to go over this part right here. And just so I can have mental notes to myself, I'm going to go through everything, but I'm going to try not to be too chatty. All right, so this is the overall look of the garden. And if you're new here, I'm an urban gardener in the city, and this is all the space I have to garden. I can't garden in the back because of those big humongous trees there. So this was the best spot for me. So this is my second season. These are some aloe vera plants, and my intention was to work on these a smidge today to get rid of the overcrowding, but I don't have time to do that today. And it's kind of a rainy day right now. It's kind of a misting kind of rain, which is good for the plants. I also fertilized the plants today as well. So this is what the strawberry plants are looking like. So if you saw these when I got these in the mail, you all, you know, these are doing quite lovely, and they have lots of new growth on the inside. So I'm kind of thinking maybe I should have put those in a bigger container. I was told to, and I didn't do so. So I think these are pepper plants that have finally came up. And we have a yellow zucchini plant as well. And something that I did this week was kind of clean this area up. It may not look clean to the untrained eye, but it is. I moved this teepee out away from the house because I don't have gutters. So what happens is the rain falls off of the house and it falls kind of like in a trench in the back. So I kind of moved things out a little bit so you can see it left a nice little walkway so I can get to things behind here. One thing I did was, this is a cooler that is broken. The handle is broken. So I actually have another cooler, and I was going to throw this out, but then I decided to put my tools in here. So I just have a few things in here right now, and it's a cooler, so no water's going to get in there. So I'm going to keep my tools out here, and that way I don't have to keep trying to find them or go back and forth to the garage. I know where they should be. So this teepee acts as a bit of a garage here, and I'm going to get rid of some of this stuff. This is actually my hose down here, and I use some dollar store S hooks here, but you can get them at the hardware store probably for cheaper. And they were just like 50 cents a piece. And I hung up some of my watering cans, which I forgot I had an extra watering can. So that's pretty cool. I like that a lot because, you know, nothing says garden like a watering can. And then here we have some yellow butter wax beans. And y'all look at them. They're growing nicely. Kind of cool. I'm excited about these beans. And yesterday I planted in my dollar store little vertical garden. My dollar store green stalk, if I can say that. I'm sure that's copyrighted, but you know. It's a vertical planter as well. So those are all planted out with some greens and some herbs. And then over here, those are my zinnias over there, and they are growing quite nicely. We have a new bell pepper plant down here. Y'all, this is as close as I can get right now. And these are still looking scraggly, but they are making blooms, and I just gave it some 511, so we'll see how those go. I also kind of thinned out the black-eyed Susans, which you'll see a video on that. They need to be thinned out some more, but you know, she did it. I thinned them out, and then they got poofy hair. And then finally, my sweet banana peppers came up, and I know I'm gonna have to replant some of these. So I didn't have luck last year with the sweet banana peppers. So this year I'm gonna plant a few plants and see how that works out. And down here we have a zucchini plant, just doing well. They're growing nicely, getting lots of leaves. And this is a yellow squash, and it actually was 2 in here, and I split them up. So I showed you the other one earlier, and I'm glad I split them. I planted some radishes in here yesterday, so nothing to see there. And then the comfrey, again, looking kind of scraggly, but actually it's starting to perk up a little bit, so I'm okay with that. And then this is Ron Denise, which I feel like is growing really slowly, but we'll see. I didn't have luck with the Ron Denise plants last year either, so we shall see. So moving on. Yeah, I usually keep my thermometer in here, but I have to put the batteries in here. Put new batteries in it, and then I can put it back out here. Then I can find it. Because last year I was just tossing it into different pots and stuff, like a crazy animal. And then this is spearmint. I hope you can see through all my netting, but it's actually very, very perky. I planted these in the drawer this weekend. We're sitting in pots above it, so you can look at last week's video. We got chives and also lavender. Y'all, I put dill in here. Y'all, look at that. It's Mammoth dill. So after I planted, I was like, uh-oh, I think I made a mistake. But are there really mistakes in the garden? No, I don't think so. And here are my ground cherries, and I think those are the ground cherries. I don't know what they're supposed to look like. I know I put too many plants in here, and I'm gonna have to thin them out, but I'm just gonna let them grow, grow, grow. Lettuce leaf basil, or basil lettuce leaf, is going, and there's more than one plant in these as well. So I might have to split those up, but I'm gonna let them get a little bigger. And here is lemon balm, and I actually planted more lemon balm in here. Y'all look, I found a little bitty lavender in there, so I just left it. I don't know what it's gonna do. And then my carrots are looking nice. Y'all, I hate having to put this this netting on here, because I like feeling the carrots, because I don't know, it's so soft and it just feels so good, but I can't do that with this. But I want to protect the little babies from the digging that had been happening. Oh, by the way, an update on the digging. Once I put the netting on everything, the digging stopped. So I think it was a squirrel. All right, anyway, one thing I noticed about my carrots, these carrots right here are the purple dragon carrots that I got from Baker's Creek. And these other carrots, the Danvers and the Little Fingers, were some, I don't think they were dollar store carrots, but it seems like these are just like taking off. I don't know if it's because of the carrot itself, the species of carrot. So I can't get the words out, y'all. But it seems like they're growing like more abundantly, and I don't know if it's the amount of seeds I put in or the quality of the seeds. So y'all let me know, do you think there's definitely a different quality to where you get your seeds at? And then down here, y'all look, he has some dirt on him. Well, that's actually mushroom compost, because I just kind of top coated the soil here, and that is a sunflower. And we got a sunflower here as well. And then here, yesterday I did a lot of work in the garden. I didn't record it because y'all, sometimes you just got to get in there. But you'll notice that my trellises don't have covers on them now. I removed the covers because the plants don't need that right now. They need more sun, because right now this area is not getting a ton of sun during the day. And I'll show you why I know that this is happening. And as you can see, my scraggly looking tomato plant over here is still making beautiful tomatoes. And we got some over here as well. Beautiful. So I'm just gonna let that keep growing. But what I decided to do yesterday, oh y'all look, it's a frog, it's a tree frog. Let's see if I can get close to him. Oh, he sees me. He's on the move, y'all. He probably was in my fountain. There he is. He looks bigger on the screen than he is. He's quite small. I'll just leave you alone. I think he was living in the shade cloth because I just took the shade cloth off this morning. You can see up here. So I kind of took his home away. I feel bad about that now. But anyway, I decided this is my dream trellis. And I decided to make it into where the tomatoes will live. I put all the tomatoes here, and I think that'll make it easier for me to take care of the tomatoes. And I was happy to see once I put these in dirt, they started getting new growth. You can see there. Look at the new growth there on that. And I don't know what kind of tomato. I think this is a Cherokee purple because it has like some purple leaves on it. Over here, of course. And then this one also is getting some new growth on it. Y'all have 2 tomatoes in here. I don't know how that's gonna work out, but I decided to leave it like that. And then I have some basil here also. And I'll probably plant more basil throughout here. So this is gonna be basil and tomatoes. Lots of different fragrances, and have a tomato there. And this is a tomato from, most of these are from last year. So I don't know how well they're gonna grow. Their roots looked okay when I replanted them. And I found a basil in here. Y'all, I'm glad I worked on this plant yesterday. I cut some of the old growth off. I should have left it alone because it's been growing nicely. But it had some basil. Oops, it had some basil that went to seed. So I'm gonna take those seeds and replant them in these. Look at that one. Again, I don't know what kind of plant that is, but this looks very beautiful. And then another lettuce leaf basil, and then another one of my scraggly looking tomato plants. And then, so nothing there. And of course, we have the ladybug. Oh, look, y'all. I hope he doesn't hop because he's gonna be committing hara-kiri from where he's at. He's about 5, well, he almost 6 feet up off the ground. All right, so now we have another sunflower down here. These are Mammoth Sunflowers. So this one was being kind of shaded by the fountain, which I moved over. And we have our melon plants. Y'all look at this. I'm gonna have to take some of these melon plants out because I still want to plant a Kajari melon as well. And I'm gonna leave the melons on this side because this is where they'll get the most sun, and hopefully they'll climb up the trellis and be heavy. I don't know. I might have to shore up the trellis because y'all, this trellis is not like the strongest gauge wire, but it has been doing the trick. And then we have some more, these are the sugar babies back here. There's sunflowers in here, nothing to see yet in those. And y'all look in my little garden here, which is smelling very fishy right now because it has 511 in here, is beans. These are all contender beans. Y'all, planted a mess of beans. So we're gonna see how that works out for me. And in the in-ground, there's nothing here yet. I'm still debating whether to put like some bricks in here so I can have some place to stand, because y'all, it's very difficult for me to reach back here to the back now because I don't think I showed you all, but I put a trellis up here. This trellis, actually, I had this already cut. It already had the wood pieces, and this was part of the ICU garden, which I'm not gonna try the ICU garden this year. Let's try to keep the stuff that's gonna live. And when I did that, I said, hey, let me put my peas, my sugar snap peas here. So that's what I did. So I put them in the back row back here. I actually planted some more beans today, well, not beans, peas, back in the back. Now there are, on this row right here, is collard greens, but right here, I kind of messed some things up. And then I have mustard greens, And the turnips have still not reared their heads yet. I have to look and see how long the turnips take to come out. I actually have the pack on my desk. And here is the golden beets, and then we got lots of beets because y'all like beets. I love them. I never had beets when I was a kid. Can you believe that? And then down here, I believe, is a mustard green that I transplanted from someplace else, and I think that's a sunflower. It popped up by itself because this was a sunflower garden. So I'm gonna leave that. And then on this side are my Blue Lake beans. So I'm gonna see how much better, or which one does the best rather, the Blue Lakes or the Contenders, and which ones I like the most. I didn't do Blue Lakes last year, so we'll see how those are gonna taste. Oh, and then over here, this is what I call the Eve garden, because this was the first, or the Eve trellis. This was the first trellis I put up. After I took the shade cloth off, I was like, man, this thing looks a little wonky. But y'all, again, does it have to be perfect? No, because once it's covered with lots of foliage, I'm gonna love it, and you probably will too. And these are cow peas, and I put some more cow peas in here because those didn't come up. I also put another long bean in here, so this is long beans. So we have long beans and cow peas, which should go over the trellis. And down here we have cucumbers. And what I think I'm gonna do, I was gonna put 2 cucumber plants to the back, but I think I'm gonna put one of the cucumbers up here, one back there, and then they won't be competing for space too much. And if one gets disease, the other one won't get it as quickly. But these are the cucumber plants, my cucumber babies. And this is how I know this one's not getting enough sun, because y'all look how it's bent. It's hard to see because I put some compost on it, but it's like bending for light. So I know I need to move that. Now I have something growing in here, and it doesn't look like a weed. I don't know what it is, so I'm gonna let it grow and see what happens. I could definitely put like some other plants in there. I may put some more beans in those too, with the cucumbers, because I decided to only put 1 cucumber per bucket this year. I did 2 last year. They did well, but I'm gonna just do 1 and see how it does, because I'll get plenty of cucumbers. Y'all, these are the okra plants. I don't know if they have popped up on the last video, because I didn't look at my last video yet, but there's another one right there. It still has like the little seed on it. So if y'all want like a fast growing crop, grow you some okra even if you don't eat it. It'll make you happy. They come up fast as HE double hockey sticks. So we got lots of okra, but there's nothing else to see in here just yet. Y'all, I'm planting like crazy. Y'all have no idea. Last year, this time of year, I think I had like some carrots, some beets, and some cucumbers, and some onions, and bell pepper, and tomato. That was it. This year I went crazy. And this week is gonna be a little bit cool, but it's starting to get hot. So we'll see how things go. These are cow peas as well. You can see how I have these on the trellis. Yeah, I'll just use some zip ties, put some holes in here, use some zip ties and put these on. But the issue that I was having with these is that when you put water in, the water runs out because it leans. So what I did, what I have to do to fix this on this one, is I put a stick behind here and I zip tied that on too so it won't fall off. And then that way it will actually kind of make this sit up a little bit better, and then the water won't run off. So that's my solution for that. And then we have another sunflower. And I did plant some Bobby sunflowers someplace up in here, so we'll see what pops up. Because y'all, I forgot. I didn't mark it at the time when I did it, and I immediately forgot. So I put some more long beans in here. And we have our cucumber here. And in here is some Tomatillos, which is, well, it's not empty, but nothing's growing just yet. They were like really tiny seeds, so I expect them to take a little bit to germinate. And then in here is kale. So I planted this yesterday. Y'all, I had a dream about this container. I don't know what it was. Like for days I've been dreaming about this container. It was like, you need to just go ahead and use me. I found this container on the side of the road. Like most of my containers, well, not most of them, but a lot of the containers that I have. And I had it since last year, and it was in relatively good condition. So I did the hugelkultur on it. So it actually has like leaves and sticks at the bottom, and then it has like the soil at the top. So I decided to only do kale, so I sprinkled a lot of kale in there, and probably will put more in, and we'll see how those come up. And then over here on this side, it's looking kind of sparse because I moved the tomatoes out of here and also the peas. But in the peas place back here, I planted some spinach, and I'm still waiting for my Utah celery to come up. I don't know what it's supposed to look like. So we're just gonna let that ride. And then over here, my bunching onions started coming up. Y'all see the little babies there? And of course I have these that I can work with, which I think I might take some of this and use it. And y'all look at my flower. I think I could still use these. Not all of them are connected anyway. And then back here in the back is my lettuce babies. They seem like they're growing slow. I gave them some fertilizer today, so we're gonna see if they pop up. And everything's kind of laying over because I just watered things, and it's a kind of a rainy, not sunny day. So that is everything, guys. So I know I said I was just gonna do the main part of the garden, but I did want to get some shots of the lemon trees. This one, I wasn't sure if it was gonna do anything, but you can see we have buds. We got buddage on here. Beautiful buds. But I'm still not convinced I'm gonna get lemons. I thought that I would. I was excited, but I don't know. But this tree went crazy. I gave it fertilizer, and I just fertilized them again. And this tree like really started bushing out, which is kind of cool. Even if I don't get lemons this year, I'll be happy if I get lemons next year. But let's go look at the other tree. Oh, before we go look at the other tree, y'all, this is from the basil plant. So hopefully these have some seeds in them, and I'm gonna get the seeds out and use those. I hope you can see it behind, with all the junk behind it. All right, so this was a lemon plant that was doing good, but I don't know now, y'all, cause look, some of the blossoms are kind of, I feel like they're rotting, not really falling off, and they're still getting blossoms, and the bees are still coming over here. But what's happening, like these little buds right here, see that bud, y'all? I don't know if you can see my dirty hand. They're like falling off. After the flower falls off, the buds are falling off too. I suspect my brother might be knocking some of them off too, because this is not in the best spot. But, and it also has like these little brown dots on some of the leaves, but it's still getting new growth, and it's looking pretty good too. I don't know if I should stake this or not, because y'all look, it looks like it's reaching for the sun, which it might be, because the sun actually comes from this way, and the house might be blocking it from the sun. So I don't know, I might need to move that. And this is, yeah, we call this Baby Groot Jr. because Baby Groot is down at my mom's house. This is the plant that got ran over. I don't know if I showed you all a picture of it or not. And then this plant, this is my generational plant. I cut all the leaves off of it because the leaves were, I think they were diseased. They had a little bit of yellowing. I'll show you what it looks like in a moment. But these plants are so resilient. They're already growing back. So you can see that has a new leaf. There's, oops, that has a new leaf there. There's a new leaf. So lots of new leaves coming in. So in about a month, it's gonna have tons of leaves. And these plants, the same thing. I gave them some fertilizer this morning as well, which you can see Got some yellowing. I don't know what kind of plant this is. So if anybody knows, let me know. And then this is how they were looking. So I'll probably remove this leaf. So they had a lot of yellowing. And I have some more back here that have no leaves, but they're growing. And then this is the kale plant. And y'all, the kale plant just has a lot of spots and stuff on it. Right now it's a little ornamental, if you could say that. Because I probably wouldn't eat those leaves. They're not looking that great, but I got some more kale growing. It's gonna take a little while. Then over here, nothing much going on in here. I think I'm just gonna throw some seeds in here, some flower seeds, and see what happens. But my geraniums are looking good. I did deadhead them. I need to take some of that off. But they look quite lovely. Oh, the rain is coming up. And my tomato garden is gone. I moved it totally. And that is the front yard. All right, y'all, it's time for me to go back in. But this is the garden today. And I believe it's March 21st. Y'all, this is my documentation of how well the garden is going. And I'm loving how things are going. Nothing's dead yet. Oh, y'all killed a big slug yesterday, which I've never seen in my yard before. So that was amazing. So y'all, don't forget, please give this video a thumbs up. And also subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. I'm doing weekly tours and I'm trying to stick some work videos in there, which is not really work. It's more like play in the garden videos. Or here's the wheel, and this is for my 9B garden, and hopefully Bobby will be able to get hers up starting for her 5B garden. So that is it. You all have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye.